Jim Jones and shit, taking all them people out.
Man, do you know why Jim Jones happened? The Jonestown massacre. Do you know why that whole situation happened?
I don't know. I just know the dude they listened to him so much that they believed something. And they did what he said.
Man, eminent domain caused the Jonestown massacre.
Did them all kill themselves?
They killed themselves I think it was in South America.
In Ghana or something.
Guyana, right. Well, they had been looking at that church in the San Francisco area for quite some time, and they considered them to be a cult or whatever, but they really paying no mind. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it's just some people down there listening to this crazy white dude, in this church or whatever, just whatever. But then all of a sudden, they needed the land. The government needed the land
that he was on.
So the money that they gave him is the amount of money, if not way more than he needed to pull off what he already wanted to do in in Jonestown.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So he was already crazy. He already wanted to do that. But when we
just paid him,
eminent domain, we paid him to do it.
We paid him to do buy all this shit.
Exactly.
I don't know if you remember the ones in San Diego with that. It was around Haley's Comet. They were all found in their beds
with tennis shoes
because they were waiting. They were gonna once they drank that shit, they were gonna go hang out with Haley's Comet.
Man.
I'm like,
wasn't that creepy?
That's crazy. I'm like, man, for people to believe that shit.
Uhura's brother died in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the chick from Star Trek. Uhura.
He was.
Yeah, she had a brother. Yeah, she had a brother that was a part of it. Her brother died in that.
Oh,
crazy, isn't it?
Anyways, what's up? What's up, everybody? Apologize for that, but this is what we do.
Absolutely.
We didn't want to stop talking. So, anyways, thank y'all for being here. I'm Brother Los.
I'm Brother Ron.
Brother Black Hand on the cam as always. Again, much love for your support. Thank you for joining us to this on this Monday. It's Monday.
Absolutely.
Sure enough, was a Monday too for me, man. I almost called off. I said, "Fuck, I can get through this shit." I'm off Friday anyway, so fuck it, I get through it. Plus, the one dude was out. The other dude I work with today, they said he's leaving. We've been talking about it. He said, "Man, I wanted to tell you the other day when we were talking about how fucked up I'm feeling about this place.
Yeah,
I'm gone. So Friday's his last day. He's going to another account. As soon as he heard that they don't use the system we use to do the reservations, he's like, I'm in. He didn't care about nothing else. Plus, he got earlier hours because right now he works till 7 o'clock at night. His time, which is like 8, 9 o'clock East Coast time, because we go off at East Coast time. But he's trying to be there long enough for the West Coast people to be able to call us and shit like that. So he stays on that late. You figure that's about 5 o'clock their time, but they're getting ready to go home anyway. So they got until they go home to catch this nigga because he's out. So now he's out. I already know, like, nope, I can't do that shift. Sorry. I got shit to do, And I'm not going to tell you what I got to do either because if you know what I got to do, then I'm fired. So fuck that. Yeah, so, but that's how it was. How was y'all's Easter, man?
It was good. It was good.
You had a house full?
Yeah, man. Yeah, we had family on my mom's side. All of our family from down in the Galveston area came up to see it, hang out.
That's where your mom is from?
Yeah. Well, she's from Oklahoma, but she, was raised in Galveston.
They moved to Galveston. Okay.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
That's a hell of a move from Oklahoma flat.
Absolutely.
To water and shit.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, that's it was really good. We was all hanging out with each other. It was good to see family, and everything, man. So we had a good one. How about yourself, man?
That was just us, me and the kids and Amy and shit. I don't have any family left here, so
that's
they do what they do. My daughter was gonna try to come down, but then she had something to do with her job that wouldn't allow her to come down. So I didn't get to do that with them. But just me, Amy, and the girls, they wake up in the morning, look around the house and shit, find what they get. They're just happy to get candy or some kind of bullshit toy.
Yeah.
They don't give a damn what day it is. Like, we getting candy and shit tomorrow? Okay, cool. I like this day.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, that's all that matters. We getting something? Matters, right? Okay, then. Yeah. I like this day. What was it called? Yeah, okay, cool. Hey, I lost a tooth. Ain't I supposed to get something for this?
Man, I'm telling you, I believed in tooth fairy for a long time, boy. For real.
Yeah, Evie still believes in all that. Especially the elves at Christmas time. We bring out these elves. Oh, they be giving them notes. And
really?
As soon as they act a fool, I'm like, yo, Frost is watching. He knows what
That
you
is
saw.
too
He'll go back to Santa and say, "Yo, don't give her nothing." So
true.
that's what you want. So they'd be like, "Oh, okay." So that, I mean, so yeah, it is cute to see that she still does that.
That's
I
what's
mean, I
up.
hope to see. I want to see her expression when she figures out, oh, this shit wasn't real. No, it was me all the time. Yep, that's
Never
what she
tell
said.
her.
That's what she said the other day when she came. Now, she'd have to find out on her own. The other day she came in, she said something about the Easter bunny. I'm like, no, because she said, well, if that's the case, then you're the Easter bunny then. And I can't remember what she was saying, but because I kept trying to tell her, you got to go to bed because we do the Santa Claus thing, and then the Easter bunny you got to be in bed for him to show up. You don't be asleep, he don't come. So that makes sure they go to sleep, so they wake up. They got up early though.
Never could figure out how my mom always slipped that money underneath that pillow, man.
Yeah,
I never understood that.
yo, I can
Even
tell
when
you
I found out who the Easter Bunny was, I was like, man, how'd you do that?
Yeah, because I can tell you how, because you'd be dead asleep.
That's what it was.
You'd be dead asleep. Walk right in there, pull that up, pull a little bag. We tell the girls to put a little bag, put their tooth in a baggie. I pull the bag out, put another bag, take that one, have one already ready with the money, and slide under and go on about my way. In the morning they wake up and it's there.
That's the bag and the tooth. You be looking for that damn tooth.
Yeah, no. Yeah. That's what I'll do. I'll take the money, put it in a baggie, slide that bag out, slide this bag in, and walk away and shit. I probably got a drawer full of baggies with teeth in it. So I got all that, but yeah, that's the easier way to do it. You be knocked the fuck out, so you don't know when they're taking that shit.
That's true.
And if you move, I stop, I freeze.
Right.
So if you're in one of those dream states, you're gonna think there's a monster there. What the fuck is that? Like, oh shit. That happened to me one time, man. I can't remember how old I was. I had to be a teenager at the time. I'm sleeping. I wake up and I see this motherfucker about as high as the door tall in my bedroom door, and I'm like, oh shit, heart, and I'm trying to look to see. Oh, you don't move. He's not moving. Finally, my eyes focused. It was my hat and my goddamn trench coat on the damn back of the door.
Hell out of you,
Hit out of me. When I opened my eyes and I saw that, I could see the hat and then the long thing. Man, all of a sudden I saw arms and legs and everything. I'm like, damn, I couldn't see the face, and I'm like, just dead in my bed, like, stop moving.
I know what you're talking about.
Oh shit, please don't move, please don't. I'm trying to think like, I got time to roll out this way or something, Yeah, and then once I stood there, kept looking, like, why is not moving? My eyes start focusing. I'm like, man, that's my damn hat coat. Damn.
You know what, man? To this day, I cannot sleep in a room with an open door.
With an open door?
I wouldn't care if the door to my room was closed. The closet door
gotta be closed.
It has to be closed.
Yeah.
I cannot lay anywhere where there are open doors, man. And the whole reason is because like I need a chance to be able to respond. You know what I mean? Like that'll give me just enough time that I would need.
Right.
Like, but if it's a door open, man.
Speaking of that, my mom used to always say you don't sleep with your head towards your door.
Really?
You gotta sleep. In other words, like you said, I can't see what's coming.
Right.
You're looking towards the door.
Absolutely.
So that's absolutely correct. Somebody's walking in that mug.
That's right.
Every time she'd come to an apartment or something, she's like, man, move to the bed. You can't sleep with your head that way. I'm like, why not? Like somebody walks in, you don't have time to react.
Yeah.
If you're that way looking, as soon as they walk in, you see it.
That's exactly right. That's exactly
she would always say that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why I say that day. I'm there looking at that dude at my door. I'm thinking already, do I roll that way? Do I roll this way? Then the window's way over there. Man, scared to death. I'm like, I don't want to yell and say like somebody, because if I yell, that motherfucker gonna get me. I was so scared, man. But yeah, by the time my eyes focused and I realized never again was my hat and coat hanging on that hook. I took the hook down. I took the hook down and everything. I said, I want nothing hooked up here. I want nothing up here.
Got that right.
That shit scared the shit out of me, man.
Boy, that imagination away.
You know what I'm saying? Like, shit, make sure. Hell yeah, that shit is crazy. That is crazy.
What they call waking dreams, where you're up, but you're still in a dream state. You can't move.
That paralyzed shit, that people get paralyzed when they're sleeping. They're so scared.
They can't put that in the middle.
Yeah, Nana had that one day.
Lucid dreaming? Is it lucid dreaming?
No, when you're paralyzed.
Yeah, you're paralyzed.
But you can't move.
Yeah, because of the
Something-
chemical. Yeah, because of the
I
chemical.
forget what they.
You barely speak.
That's rare.
Nana had that
That's
once.
rare.
Yeah, Nana had that
Well, you
once.
know how I was.
She said she couldn't move at all.
You know what I mean? But I mean, like, you just, like, it's just something that just rarely happens. You know what I mean? Because it works so automatic.
Yeah,
Right.
but that's what I'm saying. Now, it's a medical name for it now.
Yeah, something
It's some
paralysis or
paralysis,
some
some
shit.
kind.
Some
Yeah.
kind of sleep paralysis or something. Yeah, Amy told me that Nana experienced that one time. I was
Uh-huh.
like, wow. That surprised me because I'm like,
Uh-huh.
I never really even heard of that shit. Like,
Uh-huh.
what do you mean? Like she said she woke up and she couldn't move. She said she couldn't
Uh-huh.
move at all, but that's what scared her because she couldn't move.
Couldn't move, exactly.
Yeah, like shit, I don't want that. So I want
What's
to
up,
make sure to
Janessa?
move and shit. What's up? What's up? Go on, let's just pay. Let's get our bills paid.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. So let's go ahead and give shout outs to first and foremost, Bangin' 832 Radio.
Bang.
www.bangin832.com. Check out all the past episodes of The Daily Smoke every Sunday at 7 p.m. Thank you again, Bangin' 832 Radio, supporting Houston homegrown artists and putting them out there for our listening pleasure. And next up, we got Tamia's Touch of Care Massage Therapy. To get with life, get a massage.
Touch my body.
Oh, boy, we got some background singers now, don't we? Absolutely. Hey, well, if you wanted to, all you have to do is go to a website. It's www.tamiaanderson.com. Don't forget, Tamia's Touch of Care Massage Therapy.
Touch my body.
And she'll come to where you are. She'll come to you. You know, if you can't get to her, she'll come to you as part of it. Absolutely. Absolutely. Check out. Tamia, thank you so much for supporting us. Next up, we have the original Buy Black Marketplace, the Black Vendor Market Book and Art Fair, the ultimate pop-up experience. We're calling all vendors, artists, authors, and Black-owned businesses. This is free and open to the public every first and third Saturday of each and every month from 12 to 6 p.m., okay? It's a fun community. It's family-oriented. There's food, retail shopping, entertainment, you name it. And guess where it's at? Where most people already know, 5309 MLK Boulevard, better known as the Shrine of the Black Madonna. So come out and support us, okay? You got free yoga classes, free African history classes. And, you know, if you don't want to, you know, buy anything, just go out there. I'm sure you produce something. Whatever you do produce, why don't you start at home?
Right.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Charity begins at home.
Right,
So come, so, you know, put your product out there on the market, starting with us over at the Shrine of the Black Madonna every first and third Saturday at the Buy Black Marketplace. And then next up, we have the Puff Pass It CBD and more at 4130 and a half Cavalcade, Houston, Texas 77026. Check Puff Pass It on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. She has her own website. If you want to send her an email, send it to puffpassit20@gmail.com, or you can call Tanya Ashley. And by the way, she's going to be here.
Sure enough, next week.
Yeah, man, she's going to be
next
here.
week, I believe.
I thought it was this
no,
Wednesday.
it's this week.
Yeah, it's
Wednesday,
this
that's
Wednesday.
Friday.
Yeah,
This Wednesday.
yeah, absolutely. We're going to reach out to you sometime if not tonight, we'll definitely touch base with you tomorrow, Tanya. We cannot wait to have you onto the show.
Sure enough.
It's going to be a real honor. Absolutely. So check her out, Tanya Ashley. You can call at 713-766-6631. Again, remember, Puff Patches, CBD, and more. And then next up, we have, last but not least, the Daily Smoke. THA DailySmoke.com. Come check out all of our past episodes. Check out the episodes that we haven't aired yet, because, you know, we have all of our shows now plotted out for about, I think, a month and a half.
I think so. There's quite a few on there. Some good stuff coming, too.
Absolutely. So if you have any questions about anything, what we're going to be talking about, if we have any special events we're going to be attending or anything like that, come check us out. And if you've been a guest on this show, then go to our website and you'll see where we actually have links to your website, as well as pictures of you with us, the Daily Smoke. representing your episodes you did with us. So come check us out at www.thadailysmoke.com. And if you would like to donate to us, don't forget our Cash App is $TD Smoke, okay? And that's the Daily Smoke Cash App is $TD Smoke. So other than that, man, anything else going on in y'all way?
No, I'll make sure y'all tune in Wednesday and Friday because there's another one of those Heart and Soul events coming up. I think it's volume 121. I didn't have time to put the thing together, but that's coming up, I think, this Saturday. Tiffany has sent the info.
Oh, really?
I looked at it real quick, so I know it's this Saturday coming up. So Wednesday and Friday, I'll have something to show.
Oh, that's pretty cool, Los.
If you went to the last one, I'm sure you go to the same website and check out their next one. It's volume 121. We Spit Poetry. I think that's the name of the last one was She Roars, and I think this one's called We Spit Poetry.
I remember that She Roars. Yeah, that was really nice.
Yeah, so tune in Wednesday and Friday, and you'll get more info on that. And again, like I said, if you did participate in the last one they had, which was called She Roars, go to the website, and I'm sure this one's set up already where you can get your tickets and do what you got to do.
Right.
So so that's something else that's coming up that they may enjoy.
Right.
So that's
right, absolutely. And if you guys, before we go further, if you all enjoyed, certain guests and would like to hear them, more often, send us a shout out and let us know, like, hey, if, I really like this particular, artist, guest, or what have you, like, can you bring them back? And surely enough, I think they would agree with, making another visit with us. So, don't forget about that part, okay?
Right. And of course, this Thursday, we got a new TDS Presents.
Absolutely.
We're presenting BYOB, so make sure y'all tune into that.
Absolutely.
Brother Dwight, he got a nice little show going for you, trying to get your mind right. Matter of fact, it's called TDS Presents Thinking with BYOB. So make sure y'all tune in.
That's the name of the show.
That's the name of the show, Thinking with BYOB, founder and CEO Dwight Morris Jr. So this one has something to do with money, trying to get your money right. So make sure y'all tune in this Thursday for that. That was good. That was a good show. That was matter of fact, and you get our very own Black Hand was sitting with him and trying to get his finances right. So make sure y'all tune in. Y'all get to see more Black Hand.
Hey man, good job, man. Good job. First time ever, Bobby. Good job.
Made him even do the sponsors and shit.
40 minutes later.
Took him 40 minutes man.
You did really good, man.
Make sure y'all check that show out on Thursday.
Really good.
TDS Presents Thinking with BYOB. So, and it was a good show. What he puts out there, what he's trying to get people to think. He really does try to get you to think in a different way.
That's true.
To better yourself. So it's a good show. So, and you're going to get more of them. So it'll be the second Thursday of each month.
Absolutely.
It'll be that show. So make sure y'all tune in for that, along with all our other stuff.
Absolutely.
Make sure you know, hey. And right now, I need y'all to hit that like. I ain't seen too many likes on here. Like. I need y'all to hit that like. I see a few y'all in here, but not enough likes.
Oh man, that's probably.
Let me get that like. Come on, like, and then share it.
There we go.
And then share our shit on your social media. Let all your friends know. I mean, you know what we do here, and if you like it, I'm sure your friends, if y'all think alike, they'll like it too. So get them to come check us out.
Man, Los, let me ask you a question, man. Since the last time we had a chance to sit down and talk about the topic we're going to talk about tonight, can we continue that conversation when we last talked about? I said, hey man, what was your first thought of, what was the first thing that came to mind? And you said,
I said stubbornness.
Stubbornness. Can we start there?
I mean, if you want, yeah.
Like, is your mind made up?
Right.
Like,
that's the name of the topic, right?
Is your mind made up? Basically, the topic tonight that we really would like to talk about is like what exactly is stubbornness? What is your understanding of stubbornness? And we're going to talk about how, from a different vantage point, that same way of thinking and behaving or what have you can also be seen as a positive, depending on the circumstance you're looking at when you're employing that kind of thinking.
Right.
But it's just I'm just really interested in knowing like how we understand. You know what I mean?
Right.
But before we go there, when the question is asked, is your mind made up? what came to your mind when we were talking about the show? When we were talking about bringing out the show.
Well, the first thing is the mind made up about what? It's about just anything, and that's what I thought I say. So I'm trying to say that is your mind made up? In other words, you're not changing what you're gonna say. Which in tune, most people think, oh, you're just stubborn. And so that's what I thought, stubbornness. I said that must have something to do with being stubborn. It's not, no matter what you say, I'm not changing my mind. So I'm not changing my mind. My mind is made up on this. So shut the hell up. You get the fuck alone. Conversation over. That kind of shit. That's what I thought.
Okay, and we're gonna come back to that. I promise you. I'm going here for a reason. Bobby, what were your thoughts, man? When we was talking about, when we last talked about, is your mind made up? What came to your mind even before you read about what the show was going to be about, and we talked about what the show was going to be about? Like, what came to mind when you first saw that as the title of today's show? Interesting.
I'm not trying to go back. Go forward. So I change something, make up my mind, do this is
Isn't that interesting? What about you? What about you?
Am I going to keep the word I said?
Right. I feel that. Keep my word. In other words,
I would listen to. Okay.
Really?
I think that I have something. If someone has something,
That's what's up.
because maybe my perspective is
That's what's up.
so. My mind
That's your guiding principle.
I want to hear. I want to hear other aspects of the thoughts. I want
Mm-hmm.
to choose my decision.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting because Los talking about this is like saying, like, he's talking about almost like a character trait. You know what I mean? Like this, whatever it is that I believe in, if I really believe it, you're not going to change my mind about it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, because I believe this. Right or wrong, whatever, that's not even discussion.
Right.
The issue is once I set my mind to do something or I decide on something, I've just made a decision. That's it. That's all there is to it. But notice how Bobby, when asked the question, he's talking about like self-actualization. You know what I'm saying?
Like he was asked the question of, is your mind made up about this? So he automatically, you know what? Yeah, no, my mind's made up. I'm trying to do better and shit like that.
That was the whole question. Is my mind made up? And he starts talking about, like, in some form or way, he's talking about like, hey man, I need to start doing certain things
Right.
or thinking certain ways.
Right. For me,
Like, is my mind made up? Almost like, am I fully committed to this?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
For me, it was more the first thing was about what?
Sure.
Is my mind made up about what? Because certain things my mind is made up about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel what she's saying. I don't mind hearing what you got to say, but that's not gonna make me change my mind. I mean, it'd have to be something that really makes me think. Wait, I never thought about it like that at all. So now I can change it. But then once I change it because of what you added, now my mind is made up again. Not changing it until I hear something else, baby. But there's certain things that I don't give a fuck what anybody says. You're not getting me to change this no matter what. This is what I believe. I don't care if it's right or wrong. I believe this shit, and no one's gonna know if it was right or wrong until you're gone. So, and you may never know whether you're right or wrong. Anyways. And if I do see that I was wrong, then I would have to change my mind, of course, because I know that I'm way off here. And I don't want to be way off believing in something that's not true to begin with, or some bullshit.
That's interesting. That's really interesting. As we're talking about this, I do want y'all to know, by no means do I have any answers to any of this. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm really like, I'm listening and I'm learning from y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a teaching.
What
moment,
some of y'all out there saw when you saw the subject? What you think about it? Before you read this description of it.
Look how that one sentence. That's why I didn't say, is your mind made up about what? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that's the very reason I didn't do that, because I wanted it to become like it's not directed. It's like it's just a simple question, you know.
And you feel how
And you
hear
take,
that question.
where are we going from here? It depends on you.
It depends on you. You know, is my mind made up? Okay, well, he didn't say about what, so is my mind made up? So now I'm thinking about what, you know, or is there anything that I should have my mind made up on? You know, in this case, I need to do better. I don't want to go backwards, so I got to make my mind up, make it to where this is what I'm going to do. You know, this is how I'm going to follow life.
Mhm.
You may. That's what I'm saying. Someone may be able to say, like what you're saying. Somebody might be able to tell you. That's how you're taking. My thing is persuaded. You're saying something to me that you yeah, you're persuading me because you're saying what you're thinking is wrong. But if I had never heard of what you said and it made sense to me, then I'm like, okay, I got to start thinking that. Let me see if I incorporate that with my thinking. Does it make sense?
Right or wrong.
Yeah. Oh, what's up, Ken? It's been a while. We haven't seen her.
We're not in right or wrong. I don't know what is right. Just trying to,
But didn't
gotta
you?
speak up.
But didn't you say? But didn't you say, hey, I would like to always be flexible enough to where I can consider something that I may not have considered before. Because that's basically what you were saying earlier. Like, because in so many words, what you was really saying was like, I don't ever want to be closed minded to possibility.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically what you were saying.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Like, if you're saying like, hey, I am not going to say like this is the final answer, because it may not be.
Right.
It may not be. Okay. So that's why again, that's interesting.
Yeah, I'm open to some of that, but there's certain things that
Agreed.
no matter what anybody says, I don't give a fuck what you
Agreed.
say. You know?
Agreed.
Because even if I can hear you say, him say something different, him say something different. Now I got all these different ways of thinking. And it's only gonna take me right back to, you know what? Fuck all that. I believe what I believe. I heard too many different shit. None of it made sense, so
But
I'm
if
gonna stick with my
I
guns.
see your way of thinking, then I can't. Then that would be a problem.
Explain.
I mean, because I have to see some similarities to be able to
It has to make some sense to you.
change
Right.
Sure.
what I got going on.
Sure.
Gotta make some sense.
If that's not there, we have to go through 7, 8 people.
Right,
You
right,
understand
right,
what I'm saying? So
right.
I wouldn't have 7 or 8 views or opinions that could persuade or change.
Right, right, right.
You understand? So I would feel that I would have to see me and you. You understand what I'm
I
saying?
hear you. I hear you. I hear you. So, like, the question becomes, you can be stuck on stupid in your stubbornness. That's true. But do you know, like, most of your CEOs, male or female, like, that stubbornness, that's one of the traits that they like, because they're able to make a decision.
Right.
That
Make
That's
decision.
true.
you know what I mean? Like, they're
Right.
able to make
They
a decision. Like,
bend.
we
They
don't,
see something.
there's something, this is the way.
This is the way.
It's just that simple.
I don't care what you have to say. This is the
You
way.
know,
I know
and they're not going to, he, she, or them, they are not going to make those decisions based on not having all the information.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like they are reasonable like that.
Right.
But in order to make sure that I maintain my position, this job continues to function in a certain manner that I expect, here's the decision that I make that I think that's the best course to get there.
Right.
And more often than not, The reason I know that's important is because most of your CEOs, especially inventors, it was the stubbornness that got them through the laughter.
Right, right. Especially after knowing that
It was
you
the
tried
stubbornness.
all this many times, you still trying. What the fuck you still trying, man? That shit ain't. And then that
It
shit
was the
kept through.
stubbornness.
Then it come through, and now everybody happy that I made this shit.
You know what I mean?
Like, yeah, you using my shit now, huh? Laugh now, motherfucker. Yeah, that's why I did that.
Give us a call, Vanessa. Tell us what you mean by that. She said stubbornness equals stuck. Yeah, give us a call. Talk to
See,
us
I don't
about
agree
it.
with that at
I
all.
love. You don't agree with that?
No, because then I guess I would say there's certain things that I'm stuck on that you're not gonna get me to fucking change my mind.
For
Instead of
example,
saying that I'm being.
well, and you don't have to give me a specific example.
No, that's what I'm at.
But explain that part to me. Like, why are you so resistant to change?
No, because this is what I believe. This is how I see it as. This is what I believe. This is what I know from the knowledge that I've gained from this to make me enough to where, okay, this is the way it should be. That's the way it's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and there's certain things that just I'm not going to bend with this. Like I said, I can't give you a certain one. It would have to be as the instance happened. I know there's certain things like, nope, I'm not changing my mind about that. I don't give a fuck what you say.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like my one for sure. You know what? You fucked me one time, you don't exist anymore. I don't change that. I don't give a fuck, man. You should give him another chance. I don't change that. You fucked with me one time, you don't exist anymore. But he was cool. I don't give a fuck. That's one that I know I don't waver on. I'm like, you know what? No, you don't get a second chance to steal from me. I'm sorry. I don't want you nowhere near my. Matter of fact, you don't exist no more. So I don't even think about you.
So, do you apply that same kind of thinking when it comes to there being more than you involved now? Like the decision that you make, you're in a dynamic where you have to make a decision for other people. Call it your family.
Mm-hmm.
Do you find it more beneficial? I shouldn't say that. Do you find yourself in the situation more often than not where, as the head of household, we have to make a decision regarding this household, and my answer or our answer, whatever, this is what the answer is going to be. My question is like, do you have to have that same kind of, I guess you could say stubbornness. I don't know, no other way to describe it. Like,
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But,
like,
well, the thing is, if I know I believe that what I'm about to do is beneficial for the family, then that I guess that would be a stubbornness. Like I heard what you all have to say, but
Yeah.
I know that this is the way we have to go. Then yeah, this is the way we go. You know? But I did listen. I listened to everybody. You know,
Why would stubborn not changing your mind?
because usually, and I'm not saying this is the answer. I'm just saying from my own point.
right?
Okay,
It's
cool. As
just
long
what
as we're
that's what people think.
exactly, as long as we all understand we're having a conversation. Ain't no
Right.
experts up here. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So usually, man, when I saw whenever I dealt with someone that I would consider stubborn, I never used it to describe a person that I always saw that could make a decision, a cold, calculated, hard decision, whether it is popular or not popular. I never attached stubbornness to that.
Mhm.
I always attach stubbornness to people that there's a set there's some information in front of them, and the information in front of them is not being accepted by you in light of whatever's going on. And now because you refuse to acknowledge the facts, if you will, you know what I mean?
This is really
You
what's there.
still continue like, no, this is it. This is how it's supposed to be or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
I see it the same way.
You follow what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Like to a great degree, we could have considered Danny stubborn. We could have considered him
That
stubborn.
one day because he wasn't trying to waver on that.
Yeah, you know what I
So
mean?
you could have said he's being stubborn, but I don't see it that way. You
That's
know,
what's up.
because he's seeing he's presenting facts too. Okay,
Absolutely,
well, I mean,
absolutely.
it's like and he understands there's other facts that he's getting, but it's like no, but that's not the way it should be. That's the way I'm thinking it should be.
Mm-hmm,
So I guess you could say that was a stubbornness,
mm-hmm.
but you can't. But in a way, you really can't say stubborn because that's what the man believes. This is how it should be. But I understand though if the majority's thinking a whole different way, then maybe you are being stubborn or not. At least acknowledging that the majority is somewhat right.
Like whenever you hear someone used the term stubborn. Exactly. Like there's the people that we admire. It's their stubborn determination that we admire.
I hear that shit all the time for being a tourist. Oh, you tourists are stubborn. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Oh no, you're stubborn.
Absolutely. He was very convicted. Absolutely.
Yep, that's right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
But you could say, most people would say, man, he just
Being stubborn. Yeah.
He just being stubborn. Even
especially in the generation gap, when you have a jump in generations, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like the young always see the older as stubborn.
Right. Because because this is the way we've done things for all these.
You know what I'm saying?
You're just starting to do this shit. Wait till you get here with your stubborn ass.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're gonna be the same way. That's not how we do things. This is how it's done. Not anymore. This is how we do it now. I don't care. I want to do it this way. I want to keep my landline with my long ass cord and shit.
See, yeah, man. Like a form of stubbornness to me would be like, I know someone that writes checks still. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
like they write checks.
No, you don't need to.
Like this is a different society. You know what I mean? Like, but that could. I've always saw stuff like that.
In a cashier line, she pulled out that shit. I'm sitting there. You gotta be kidding me. And shit. Then we gotta sit there and wait. Dude's gonna take the check, look at it, put it in the thing.
Lord.
I'm trying to tell you, beep, let's go.
Right, right.
Almost made me want to do that shit. Like, I got you, lady. Beep.
Right.
Yo, let's go.
I'll pay for it. Just get out my way.
Just go. You ain't got time to be writing that shit.
Get out of my way.
Sitting there all slowly. How you spell 1,000? 100 got 2 D's or 2 E's. Right. Right. Just put an X on that motherfucker. Keep going. Right.
Lord,
You're right about that. There's some people that they've seen it, and only because they took a class on fucking finance and they showed them what checks were at one time.
Finance in the 20th century.
Other than that, like shit. Like I say nowadays, all I gotta do is touch the thing. Beep. I don't have to swipe. I don't have to put no numbers. Just keep going.
Man, I saw him doing with his watch. Man, I was like,
wow. You can do it with your phone. Bam. It's on your phone and shit.
That's gangster, boy.
Yeah, you just touch it. I just touch it. You don't have to swipe it. The only thing I don't like about that though is anybody find your shit, all they gotta do is go tap it too, beep, and your shit works.
Yeah, Kevin ain't got it all.
He still write checks. He still write checks. I can see writing checks maybe if you're mailing shit, but even then, I just go online.
When was the last time you mailed something like stamps?
I don't even know how much stamps cost anymore.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm always behind on number one.
Yeah, I don't know that. And I know stamps cost them
way
more than they used to.
Bill pay. Shout out to all y'all that's
for real, man.
I remember back in the day when they said something about stamps. They want to go up. We're gonna increase it 1 penny, so it's going from 6 cents to 7 cents. Then I found out that 1 penny is gonna make them $50 billion fucking dollars. Like,
what?
God damn. Because of how many stamps people used to buy. Like,
what?
Right.
Well,
yeah.
Because my thought was a penny. What the fuck's a penny gonna do?
Who? You talking about Willis?
Right,
that's true.
Right,
that's true.
Those you do stand.
True.
And then
shit, I sent email once.
I used to do that.
Direct mailing still ain't hard too, but I mean, yeah, I understand.
Direct mailing, what's that?
I mean, when you get all this mail up in your junk mail.
Yeah.
The fuck happened to my shit?
My email is starting to annoy me, like it's junk mail in your mailbox.
I know, so much stupid shit, man.
You know what I mean? I'm
gonna worry
like
about
all this.
There's times I forget to go to my spam, and then I go when I'm cleaning out my emails. Oh, man, it'd be thousands of stupid shit. And I'm like,
exactly.
Delete all. Are you sure?
Exactly.
Yes. I don't care. Once they get into your normal shit, yeah, there's still tons of those. I've sat there and unsubscribed to like 10 fucking different ones, and then after that I get even more. Like I didn't unsubscribe to like 10 of them, but now I'm getting more. Like other people are sliding in on this shit. It's like, stop selling my info. It's like, stop selling my info that you don't know. I barely even answer my phone. If I don't know your number, I don't answer you. But leave me a message, or you'll never hear from me.
Man,
and got more calls. That's crazy.
Right.
Okay, we're gonna filter them for you and send you more that you might want.
That is so true. That is so true.
I don't even have no space to put them in a group.
I just don't. That's why I'm so happy that
I pay the extra penny for the stamps. Just get rid of my spam.
Get rid of the spam, right?
Get rid of my spam.
I barely answer my phone. That's why I'm glad when it comes up scam like.
Yeah.
I turn my phone. I turn my phone off so I don't have to hear that shit. I'm like, you know what? Leave a message. That's what I'm saying. If I don't know your number and you need to get a hold of me, you have to leave a message, or you will not hear from me. You know.
I'm dealing with one that has landline.
Landlines. Oh Lord.
You still got a landline. That's some stubborn mugs.
You know what though? So the usefulness of the landline for a very long time was because we used to get hit with hurricanes so much that, you know, like
towers go down.
If the towers go down, which they do almost all the time, you know, then your landline still gives you a way out to speak, you know, to communicate or whatever. So that's pretty much why, man, you know, a lot of us kept landlines so long.
Until they finally got to where, and the other reason was too, I couldn't afford no $800 goddamn phone.
That's true, man.
I'm not trying to have this bill for the next 2 fucking years.
That's right.
I'll keep this motherfucker right
man,
here.
You used to get it financed.
Right.
My God,
I even have an
iPhone 18 financed.
I have an answering machine and shit, so leave a message.
Oh, that's
crazy how it is. So I guess that would be stubbornness, still having a landline.
Well, I gotta be honest, man. Like, the reason I found this question, I found this topic so interesting to talk about, is because, like, how do you draw and where do you draw the line of where, like, there are just certain things you're open to learning new ideas, new concepts, have new experiences, et cetera. But then you got this other part of that where it can almost seem like anti-progressive, because there are just certain things that just are immutable.
Right, I'm not changing.
This is not changing.
I'll learn all this other shit, but this,
you know what I mean? And I know it goes in different areas.
Right.
You understand? I'm not trying to compartmentalize this to just one specific area of your life. So that's, you know, we're just having a conversation. But, like, how do you know when the data you're refusing is actually, like, it could be the answer to what you've been looking for?
Right.
Or you may be refusing something that's like, that's crazy. I ain't even entertaining that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Okay, well, nobody said no, keep it moving. You know what I mean? But, like, that, then by definition, you're losing out or excluding yourself from a human experience because you don't give it consideration. I'm talking about ways of believing and thinking or what have you.
But you know what? I wouldn't think of it as I'm missing out on anything.
Really?
Because I don't do that. So I'm not missing out on that. This is what I do. I'm not changing.
I'll tell you what I'm thinking about specifically. I'll tell you exactly what I'm thinking about. I really didn't realize I had so much in common with Republicans for a very long time. There was a time in my life where Ronald Reagan was like just beneath, Satan himself. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was the poster child of everything that black people hated in this country, period.
Right.
And a Republican. So for a very long time, like, you used to hear black people here and there come up and be like, I'm a Republican. And then start talking to you, and you just start dismissing every damn thing they talking about.
Listen to them, like, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like, my mind is made up. Like, I'm
black,
good.
You're already saying, man,
and
you
a
went
Republican
over with the white people, man. Fuck that.
That's how it was.
Thank you.
When I sat down and really started looking at some of the things that they were saying, again, I'm not saying that they're right.
Right.
I'm just saying I understand now.
Right.
And I'm sympathetic on many accounts.
Right.
Because I understand where they're coming from. But there are some people that will not have that dialogue because their minds are made up.
Right.
Like,
and that's why I when I first registered to vote, I went independent.
Really?
Because my thing was, all I know is they argue back and forth, and they're talking about the same shit.
Yeah.
You know, yes, some of their shit makes sense, and some of their shit makes sense to me.
Right,
It's like, you know, like you say, you know, you hear out some of the things, and you start thinking about it as a whole society. That makes sense. I mean, we can't do it this way. That's kind of crazy. So, you know, you go back, but when you think about it, it's like, y'all are trying to do the same thing. Just come together and figure this shit out. You know, stop arguing it so much. That's the stubbornness between them, the two houses.
Well, that's because they fundamentally disagree on something.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, they just fundamentally, there's just a point where we just fundamentally disagree. There's no, and that's irreconcilable.
Right.
Period.
It's like pretty much what we're talking about.
That's what exactly. That's what makes you the Republican. That's what makes me the Democrat. You know what I mean?
Because I can't do that one. That's not how we do it.
Right.
Yeah, so it's crazy.
Right. I don't know, man. It's just, I just think that's so important that we really consider what we're not considering.
Right. And I'm open to learn a lot of different shit. And like I said, if I learn something that makes me think different on something, okay, I'll start to see it a different way. But it has to, like she said, it has to make somewhat kind of sense to me. Don't make no sense, then no. You know, it has to make some kind of sense for me to even entertain the thought that, you know, okay, maybe this is, but if it's facts, then I have to go with, okay, well, that's the way it's supposed to be for real. I was wrong all along. Fuck it. So now it's this way.
I could tell you exactly. Thank you, Lord. It just came to. I could tell you exactly what I mean when I start talking about stuff. Bobby and I had a conversation about how 4 or 5 days ago. Me and Bobby was talking, and I was asking Bobby about, would you eat a chocolate covered, spider?
Oh, right.
And he said, basically in a nutshell, without boring everybody, he would eat the spider dipped in chocolate, but it couldn't have the bulb, like the body part.
Just the legs.
Just the legs, you know what I mean? And I'm like, and you know that's a spider, right? Like, yeah, and it's dipped in chocolate, right? Fried or whatever, that kind of stuff, right? Yeah, I tried. Because Bobby doesn't really have any hang-ups when it comes to, like, trying new things in terms of diet, what you eat or what have you. He's all about having a new, different experience.
I eat no goddamn spider.
Stubborn as hell when it comes to food.
Me too. Like, fuck that. I eat no damn spider.
Stubborn.
Legs or bulb or whatever the fuck. Fuck
I am
that.
No, sir.
It would give you so much vitamins.
It's a spider.
No.
It's a spider.
No.
It's a spider.
We don't do all that vitamin shit
I
now.
wouldn't care if I wouldn't care if the nectar of the gods was coming out of it. I am not eating
no goddamn spider.
Spider, man. Period. Did you ever eat a spider? Okay, see, you know it too. It's just some things I ain't gonna eat, man.
We've ate that just went in your mouth when you sleep.
Don't tell me about it.
As long as you don't feel it.
Oh, that's so gross. Oh, don't sleep. Oh, Lord.
You don't sleep waking up.
Yeah, man. I am very prejudiced when it comes to eating, man.
Right,
I am so stubborn.
Right.
Because I can't wrap my head around certain things, and that's just one of them. Like I can't eat no spider. I can't eat the little grasshoppers. They worms and Korean food, like with the
oh, I know, or them octopus that
no,
I'm not fucking around.
Ain't gonna make it.
Nope. Nope. Come on, Lil. If you eat that, man, your shit'll be hard forever. I don't give a fuck. I'll just leave my shit like it is. But like she said, it give you vitamins and nutrients. I ain't looking for all them vitamins and nutrients now.
And not out of no spiders league.
I know.
I'm sorry on that one.
Could you imagine though? Chocolate and the bulk, all that guts. Whatever the fuck
caramel.
That's the caramel. Spider caramel. Spider caramel.
No, cuz.
It's easy to be stubborn. We're all stubborn on things like that.
Certain things, yeah.
They need no turtle soup.
You know.
But You see how like but you see how that's the point. You see how you feel like when we're just talking about somebody like, no, I'm not messing with them.
Nope.
They're just certain
that.
people in terms of their global
different
way
stuff.
of thinking.
Mhm.
They're just as rigid,
Nope.
rigid rather. They're just as rigid, you know. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. I just think you exclude yourself from a lot of experiences and truths in life. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But you also insulate yourself from a whole lot of problems too.
Right.
You know, so
it
go both ways.
Both ways.
It really
Be
does.
positive or negative, depending on how you use
it. It really does.
Yeah, that's cool. That's crazy.
Man, and speaking
Mama still write checks?
Oh,
What you just saying?
Yeah, man, you know. You still got an 8-track too. All right, so check it out, man. Like
You got out here right.
I remember when
that whole tree.
I remember when you used to have checks. I used to have to. I would start off all nice and neat. After a couple of months, it's like the shit ain't even in. I remember just write whatever.
We got to spend money to make something so she can spend money. Lord have mercy.
That's fine.
You crazy, you know.
See, those are the things that you're not gonna change your mind on.
That's true.
Like, I hear what you're saying. You know, I mean, I would almost have to be shown, like, look, Los, this is what you think. This is what happens the way you think. This is the way it really goes. Okay, then. That's
right.
I mean, I'm not gonna sit there and see that.
That's right.
Wait a minute.
That's exactly
this
right.
Does.
That's
really
right.
Does that, and I'm actually seeing that. That's what it does.
Excellent
point. I have to change my mind now. I got no choice.
Excellent point.
You know, it's like shit.
Excellent point.
Now, if I say, man, fuck all that.
Point.
This is the way it is. Now
Excellent
that would be stubbornness. You know, where you're gonna miss out because now the way you think this goes does not go that way. Yeah. So don't ever try it because it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
You know?
You got to take it with reality.
You knew what was going on.
Yeah. Man, before I appreciate everybody, you know, contributing to this conversation, man.
Mm-hmm.
I briefly, we got a couple of minutes. I wanted to bring this up real quick because I wanted to talk about this at the beginning of the show. Did you all see what happened today?
You know, some new shit, some more bombings and shit.
I think it was in Louisville, Kentucky.
Oh, in Louisville. A hurricane or some tornadoes or some shit?
Man,
more killings in schools and shit?
No, man. So, yeah, similar to that. Around 9, 10 o'clock this morning, some dude, man, that worked at this bank walks into the bank, and the people that was already at work, because he works at the bank, the people that are already at work at the bank, they're on like conference calls, you know, like, and like, what is it called? Video conference. So you know, everybody cameras can see them and they can see, you know, whatever, and you can see like the wall behind you, that kind of stuff, right? Man, one of the people that was on the video conference saw this dude like mowing people down with a gun during the meeting.
But not in his place, he's watching what's going on in that building.
Because somebody else has a camera from their computer or whatever it is they watch.
And they're hearing that shit.
They can see behind. And, you know, like we're in a conference room. This joker walks up to the bank, shooting people.
And first you hear that shit.
The camera was picking it up.
That's
man,
crazy.
Come to find out, the dude, man, was 23 years old. I think he killed 4 people, wounded, I think 9 more. A cop that was trying to, it took him 3 minutes to respond, but I think that one of the cops there,
he was shooting co-workers or anybody in the
just co-workers, the people that was there, because he had found out that he was going to lose his job, he was going to get fired.
Okay.
So, he does this today, this morning.
23 years old, you could have got another job, motherfucker.
They were really
kill himself or nothing, right? They caught his ass.
They killed him.
They killed him
in the shootout. Yeah,
okay.
It was suicide by cop.
For real, that's
suicide by cop again.
Pretty much.
So, like, what really got me was they said, man, this dude was really nonchalant, easygoing. And, you know, like they said that they never saw him ever once raise his voice.
You never fucked with his money before. That's why.
You know what I mean? they, I don't know. They never said.
That's crazy.
But they said like he was always really even keeled, really nice and mature for a 23-year-old working in a bank, trying to make, you know, that kind of stuff. Why they were fired, they hadn't stated yet.
White
But
kid?
I don't know. They hadn't
Oh, they
really.
haven't said whether
I
it's
didn't
his brother
see.
or white kid?
No, I didn't see. Because I don't even think because it just happened. They can't even
Yeah,
release
they
the
just-
identity
oh,
at the
okay.
time.
You have to wait.
So
But if it's a black kid, they always say that it's a black person, whether they release the identity or not.
well, that is
You
what
know?
pops up in the mind. I mean,
You always know if it's a black person that does some shit, but you never know any other time. That's why I know it when a black man says shit. You know, had to be a white kid or Asian kid or whatever the fuck.
they say he was a good kid,
It's
man.
fucked up.
He's walking through the bank, shooting people, and one of the cops that was in the shootout with him got hit in the head, and now I think he just got out of brain surgery or what have you. But that really got me because the reason why I'm so concerned about this is because, like, you could point to Columbine and say, if we had been paying more attention to this personality over here, we probably could have thwarted this. Because you always see the person that commits the act in some form of fashion, it got biased on some level.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Good act.
You know what I'm saying? It got biased. But like in retrospect, we're like, no, we just weren't paying attention. Like the kid that shot the teacher back in January, the five-year-old kid that shot the teacher in January. Yeah, because he's not facing criminal charges. The mom is, but come to find out, that kid already had violent tendencies.
Oh, they already.
And he was ordered to go to school every day with his therapist or his mom or whoever. He was not allowed to go to school by himself. He was violent.
They already knew.
And the day that mom decided not to go to school was the day that he decided to go shoot the teacher.
That's crazy.
With this kid at the bank, man,
something had to be going on. 23 years old, you gonna kill yourself?
That's exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like it's getting harder to detect now.
Right.
You understand? Because it's easy if I can say, man, if I had been paying attention or whatever, like I'd know that he had all these bombs and bows and arrows, like he had something going to pipe bombs or whatever.
Right.
Okay, like and you've been making statements here and there and whatever. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's the part I forgot. Not only did he do that, but while he was shooting and killing everybody, man, the Joker was going live on Facebook.
Oh, that's the
FBI's trying to get the footage off line because now it's like wildfire hitting dark web. Everybody want to see people die in real time in real life on the internet.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what they dealing with.
Yeah.
Right.
There were no indications, at least up to this point, of what they've said. Right. That's not to say that maybe new information may come out. If it does, God, that's really good to know. That's really good. I hope I'm wrong. But if I'm not, man, that means that now that mass murderer is getting even more calculated.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That mass murder attitude, that it's starting to.
They're starting to think about what they're doing.
You know what I'm saying?
Act their
like
part.
It's all emotional, but it's like less emotional now. You know what I mean?
Right.
This is some cold, calculated stuff. Like, man.
So now the cool, calm, and collected motherfucker at work gonna be like, you all right, man? You ain't gonna come up here with no guns, right?
Man.
You know, like, shit, that's crazy. We gotta find these mugs.
You gotta talk to everybody. That was just,
my heart goes out to them.
Yeah, that's crazy. Something had to be wrong already. Something had to be fucking with him.
Man.
Because, you know, they have a certain look, but now, if you're talking about regular folk,
Right.
you know, mingling, intertwining, you know, co-workers, you know.
Right. I used to work with a dude. I used to always say, man, if anybody's gonna come up in here killing everybody, it's that one right there. Because I knew the dude, and he did have problems, but he seemed harmless. Though it's like, no, he would hurt nobody. I'm like, no, it would be him. I'd have to try, like, it's me, bruh. It's me, man. Come on, man. To try to get not getting shot and shit, you know.
I had that one.
You know, it's like, fuck.
He was a good dude. You know, about my age. But no, he was a good dude. But he had that one asshole boss that always fucked with people. And it just came to a point where he got tired of shit. He had a fist fight in the office. No.
Couldn't take it no more.
You never know what people really going through.
You never know. That's why I say you truly don't never know somebody. As much as you think you know somebody, you don't. Everybody keeps something that nobody knows. Yeah, that's crazy. That's fucked up. 20-something years old, you're gonna lose your job. Something had to be going on, man. You're 23 years old. Like, you're not gonna get another job. Come on, man. You know, so there was other shit that was going, you know, there was something else going on there. He just could take, he figured, fuck it, I'm gonna be broke now, ain't shit else.
Then he still, if he wasn't about to get fired or
That was
like
a
that,
rumor or some shit. That still triggered his ass.
we would have had the same problem if he, you know, if that didn't happen, we'd have the same problem we had last year. There was no problem.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, there was no problem. That's the whole point of the conversation. Like, there's nothing that is showing as an indicator that this man was about to do what he did.
Right. Yeah, right.
That's scary, man, because that means now that, you know what I'm saying? Like, well,
Yeah,
I mean, if you, well, no, I can't say that because I was about to say something that's stupid.
Yeah, I'm good because I mean, the only thing that happened here is they may come up in here and beat me up with a bat or some shit. I'm working from home. Ain't no disgruntled employees up in this bitch.
I wonder if we've become more violent since COVID. It seems like we have, but we've been doing this and it's getting more notoriety.
I think we've been doing this all along.
I feel that.
Because in reality, you talk about, you know, they shut us down. We can't do nothing. Okay, well, that's not going to make me go crazy. That shit, it all came back. You knew it was going to come back. It wasn't going to be the end, and we were never going to be able to go to the store again or do nothing like that. It could have turned out to be that way. At least they try to build it that way, like, oh, it's going to be bad. You know, shit was closing down. People taking, you know, all the toilet paper off the shelves just for themselves and shit. So, you know, but yeah, it's like, nah. I think it's always been that way, man. I don't think COVID did too much. You know, it's just now, you know, people are more pissed off and shit. I guess really that mental shit is going deeper, you know. That's how much of it has to do with the opium problem, you know.
And they're highly medicated. That's right, Lois.
Medicated.
They're highly medicated.
Get off that shit, and then they
got a highly medicated society.
And then that la-la world of them comes true, you know. They're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna kill everybody. Fuck
yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the problem is you can't just tell, you can't go find out about somebody because they got regulations that, oh no, you can't go tell them people that this dude has a problem.
Right.
Get some type of regulations like, yeah, but this motherfucker gonna kill people if I don't say something. So, you know, so I'm gonna lose my job and my credentials because I want to make sure this dude don't go kill a bunch of motherfuckers. That's fucked up. You know, it's like there's certain things that we got to bend on, you know. It's like, no, that motherfucker's problems, we need to know. You know, make sure that at least his workplace or at least the boss of the place knows that, yo, this dude has mental problems that we're dealing with. You know, if you ever see him acting funny, make sure he gets on his meds or something.
Impossible.
It's not going to, that's what I'm saying. It's never going to happen. They're not going to do that.
Impossible. And I think it shouldn't be impossible.
You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be. I mean, especially because how much more shit is going on like that, you know? It's like, you know, at that school, they knew this kid was that way already, you know? It just happened. Moms didn't show up that day, and that's why they put her on charges, because she didn't show up. She didn't take him to school.
You know,
or was it her gun?
See, the only thing about the mental illness and its correlation with violence They're really that doesn't hardly happen. It's just that the people that committed the violence have that mental illness.
Right.
But everyone that has that mental illness,
Don't all go do crazy shit, go kill
you
them.
understand what I'm saying?
Right,
Like
right.
it's and
More often than not.
and more often than not, what they'll start saying is like to justify it, say, hey, well, if you mentally ill, or you've been on medications, or you are on medications, you shouldn't be able to get a gun and all of that. And to be honest with you, I agree. You shouldn't be a gun. You got a lot going on. But bless you, brother. But if we're gonna be fair about it, most of the people that's committing the heinous crimes that they do in American society, regardless whether it's with a gun, a knife, or whatever, well, either they're unmedicated or most of the real violent people are the people without mental illness.
Right, right.
Because the ones without mental illness are the ones doing the most killing.
Most killing, right. Right, right. You're right.
Yeah, I started with something on, I think with England's youngest killer. I think she was like 11. She was Haitian, but she went through brutal childhood. Brutal.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody around her, they asked about her personality. Like, oh, she's good. But
She's crazy inside.
and she was not on medication. You didn't hear that you went out there and do random just because she just looked. For some reason, she was fascinated with just killing.
But something like that, though, is like, you
can
know
have
this
ex-wife.
child had a brutal fucking childhood. You know there's something wrong mentally with him. There has to be. There's no way this person's right.
You can,
if they had a brutal childhood.
There's
wrong.
There's a you can have if I'm wrong on this, please feel free to correct me because it's been so long. But you can have most serial killers, if I'm not, I think all. The one thing that they had in common were they all had, I think it's XXY chromosome, because usually you don't have XX or XY, and that's what determines whether or not you're male or female, right? Basically, well, all serial killers, if not all, most of them, they all have it's either XXY or it's XYY, but I think it's XXY. They have that chromosome. And so the question becomes like, well, is violence or proclivity to violence already in you?
Predetermined, man.
You know what I mean? Genetically. But then somebody took me to school. Hey, man, cold-blooded mind, cold-blooded thinker. He said, yeah, but how many XXY chromosomes are out there that hadn't committed any crimes?
Right, right. So is it just?
So you have to be able to understand how to interpret data.
Right, right, right.
You understand what I'm saying?
All of them are like that, but guess what?
Exactly.
So that's 20 serial killers.
You know what I mean?
And there's 10 million motherfuckers with that same.
Before y'all start passing legislation where if you got XXY chromosome, we're gonna put exactly. You know what I mean? Because you're gonna get a check, so you don't have to work. You know what I mean? Because you don't go nowhere. Well, how many of them got it and didn't do it? So
we're gonna tag your record where cannot work at the workplace. Must work remote. That's crazy. I think we're over, right? Yeah. It's about time we got. Thank y'all for joining us.
I'm so sorry.
On this Monday, don't forget Wednesday, we got Tanya Ashley joining us from Puff Pass It.
Absolutely. Thank you, Tanya.
Make sure you tune in for that. I'm Brother Los.
I'm Brother Ron.
Brother Blackhand on the cam as always.
Studio
audience. Applause.
Thank you
so much for being. Thank you all out there for commenting with us and talking. Y'all forget this is live. You can call in. It's too late now because we're getting ready to go. But we're the Daily Smoke. We're out.
Peace.
Peace.